Hey guys, it is the 5th of October and episode 128 of 4PlayerAnimecast. I am your host Spire as per usual, and we are going straight into the fall season of 2019. And a lot of, although it's not like there are a bunch of brand names or anything like that, although there are some strong, popular stuff that people might like to see. But there's definitely some stuff that I think people might want to take a watch down early on and kind of catch up while they can. So without further ado, let me introduce the rest of my compatriots here. Dark,
Hi.
uh, Nier,
Hello.
and Toast.
Who
He is
said you
dying.
could call me your compatriot?
Comrade in arms,
Thank you,
ally,
comrade.
acquaintance.
Who said I know you? Who are you?
Point of
Who are you?
personal privilege. I don't think we
Jesus.
should be using compatriot.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
compatriot sounds like compadre, which is a Spanish term.
person I can sit next to in the theater while watching Joker, and hopefully I won't get shot. Is that how we put it? But yeah. Anyways, we are all here, and so I guess we should just talk about the last 2 weeks, anyways. Although we're just kind of coming in hot to this fall season. So how are your last 2 weeks, Dark?
Been pretty cool. Playing a lot of Code Vein.
Yes.
Uh,
Code Vein just came out. Yeah.
finished keto. Quit early at one. Weighed in at 169 and said fuck this.
Nice.
So done with that for now until like November, and then I might start that up again for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
What about the Halloween candy?
Well, yeah, that's why I'm starting it in November again. So, you know.
Yeah, I kind of mainly just try to track body fat percentage, but it's definitely a little bit harder to do than just simple body weight stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing body weight and it was like waistline and everything. So I went from like a size 36 to whatever I am now because I only have down to like size 33 express, like skinny jeans, and those are falling off me. So I think I'm like probably 30, 31 now. So
Okay.
definitely slimmed down quite a bit. It was worth it. It was fucking hell, but it was worth it.
Okay. So getting out of the keto nightmare. Hopefully, you won't have to undergo too many of the same things over and over again, over again in the next year or so. So here's to hoping. But yeah. Okay. So Toast, what about you? I
What?
know you've had an interesting past 24 hours. I think.
ISIS rate sucks.
Okay.
The fail rate's too high. It's like it's like an hour long raid, and then when it fails, it's like, alright, time to find another one. Then you repeat the process. So, and raid day started at 4 a.m. my time, and I just recently finished all two of my raid characters like an hour ago at 8:30. So that's what? How many hours is that?
So you
Six.
started 4 a.m. your time?
Yeah,
That is 16
yeah,
ish.
16 hours for two raids. Isn't that fun? This raid's not fun.
In what game?
I'm guessing
This is ZFO. Yeah.
DFO, yeah.
Oh,
Fuck that.
Jesus Christ, dude.
First of all, an hour-long raid and a beat 'em up is like fucking insane to begin with to me.
It's because the more amount of people you have is more proportionate to the amount of fails that you can experience. The last two raids were 8 people, and that's like what, two full parties. That's easy enough to do. But then this one's 12, so you have 3 parties, and that's just a nightmare to deal with. Wait till you get 16 or 20 people again. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm very tired.
Yeah, Toast actually warned us beforehand. It was like gonna be he was gonna be like half dead or something like that. Is what the hell? Near what is the candy type? What is
What the
this?
heck is a coffee crisp?
You guys never heard of Coffee Crisp?
Is it like caramel?
Coffee
Is it like a
crisp.
caramel? Oh no, I know what this. Wait, what? No, I don't know what this
Is
is.
that
actually.
is crisp like the
Oh,
cookie?
this kind of looks like
No, I've never seen
Or-
this
or like the
before.
potato
They
chip?
don't have
Guys
those
have
here.
never had Coffee Crisp? Bruh.
No, I know what this kind of seems
I don't
like.
like
but I
It's
forget
coffee.
the name of
only
it.
Canadian.
It's like yeah, I've seen this before, but like I haven't. I
What
haven't
is
actually
it
tasted
supposed to be? Is it supposed to be like a tiramisu wafer bar or something?
It's
like
like a regular
yeah,
wafer
it's
bar,
like a
but it just
wafer. It's
has
just like a
chocolate.
wafer
Yeah,
with chocolate covered over it.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
got
yeah.
coffee flavor.
Yeah.
It's fucking delicious.
But I don't
Okay,
like
so
coffee.
yeah, it's probably like a little tiramisu
I don't like coffee
sort
either.
of
The
thing.
Coffee Crisp is like easily my favorite chocolate bar of all time.
What do we have? What do we have? What's the pink one called?
Kit Kats are pretty dope.
It's not a. It doesn't
honestly,
look like
honestly,
a Kit Kat.
honestly, if
Oh,
you're
you're talking about like those pink, like those ghetto
Oh.
wafers?
Yeah, what are those called?
The
gonna,
super
no,
ghetto
y-
ones.
you know, if you're gonna go the
Oh.
whole like crispy wafer route, you might as like America just has a degenerate answer with like Butterfingers, right? Like you might as well just
That's
like
not a wafer.
yeah, I know. What I'm saying
That's
is like
like
the same sort
just-
of like layer, sort of like crispness. You might as well just go full degenerate.
Dude, get
Just go
the king
Butterfingers.
size, get the giant Kit Kat.
Dark. What are they called? It's really
Kats.
bothering me right
Or
now.
oh, they sell Reese's ones like this now too.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Some
that.
big Reese's wafer bar.
Yeah.
The pink, I don't know what the pink ones are called. Let me see. Pink.
I don't know why
wafer.
like it's 2019 and people are still selling candy corn. Like how is this like a legal
Candy
thing?
corn is so bad.
How is this like illegal?
It's just pure sugar.
It's not
Okay,
even good,
so-
like, sugar.
I'm gonna be honest.
Toast.
I can eat like bags of candy corn.
really.
The
Just pure
pink.
sugar, yeah.
I mean, I
I can eat
can,
that shit.
but
I can eat that shit all day.
it's like I don't hate it, but like when I'm eating it, it's just kind of like there, you know.
Yeah,
I'd rather be eating
really,
like
filling.
anything else. Also, the pink wafer bars toasts are literally called pink wafer.
Oh,
It's Crawford's pink wafer, or if it's from Keebler,
Very
it's
imaginative name.
Keebler sugar wafers strawberry.
Okay.
man, those are
Those are
terrible.
pretty dope too.
On that note, Near, how
We
is
should
your
all
pet?
say our favorite candy. Mine,
What do you mean, like favorite candy? Like not even Halloween, just like any favorite of all time?
you can eat candy, any type of candy on Halloween. It doesn't matter.
No,
That's
no,
a
no.
good point. Yeah, that's
I,
fair.
I mean, I was asking because it's like people don't sell all kinds of candy.
Mine is the toss up between Milky Way and Twix. Usually Twix.
I would probably say I like really degenerate stuff, so it'd have to be like Butterfingers or
You'll-
like
Do you like those spicy?
maybe Twix, but I would like I used to like Twix a lot, but these days I like Reese's. I think a little bit.
What about those spicy mango pops from Spain, Mexico?
What the fuck?
You know the one.
That's not any of the things I said, but okay.
You said something degenerate, so I was thinking like those. What is it? Vero mango? That's
Oh,
what it's
like
called.
fucking red hot, like hot tamales.
Ooh.
That'd be pretty interesting to try. But what I mean by degenerate is like it's like how I like my ice cream flavors, where it's like you know how people like vanilla or chocolate or strawberry or whatever. Like these days, I'm just like if I'm going to indulge myself in ice cream, I'm going to get the most like chocolate double fudge with Pocky sticks and blah blah like more fudge on top. You know, it's like just
Oh, like
piling it.
brownie batter from fucking Dairy
Yeah,
Queen.
or like Chunky Monkey kind of stuff, or you
Ah.
just like just something that's like super like all in. Like, it just I want that sort of thing, so that's why I pick those kind of stuff.
Remember
But,
what we said about your ice cream taste determining your personality? It's the same
Yeah,
concept.
we had this conversation many times, Toast. Many
yeah,
times.
well,
Anyways, Near, how's your past 2 weeks?
I've been, playing Shadowverse, and more Shadowverse.
Nice.
you
New
know,
expansion, right?
yeah, the new expansion came out.
Yes.
Verdant Conflict. It's all about trees.
Yeah.
It's basically this new mechanic. They introduced this new universal 1 PP amulet.
Oh god.
And basically, you put the amulet out,
That smells like a staircase all over again.
Yeah, it's on your board, and then if you play another one, it destroys the amulet and it draws a card, right? So
Yeah, that
basically,
sounds like staircase.
it gives everybody very, very cheap draw, right? Just
Yeah,
one
yeah,
PP draw.
yeah.
Like just this, basically a universal insight, right?
Yeah.
And when it's on the board, a lot of cards have like these special effects, like there's a legendary that Forest
Oh,
Craft
there's
has,
like side effects to the
yeah,
amulet.
there's a legendary that Forest Craft has where it's like if there's a tree on the board, evolve for free, right? So there's a lot of
Oh
stuff
my
like that.
fucking god!
Yeah,
Universal or basic
universal
neutral
meme
or
mechanic.
right, neutral side effect stuff is like fucked up. It's so
Yeah.
fucked up.
So you'd think like, oh, this is gonna be so unbalanced. This is gonna be awful, right?
Mhm.
But it's actually, I think, probably one of the best like universal mechanics Shadowverse has ever implemented, right? Because you remember in the past they were trying to do stuff like, oh, well, we want to make neutral cards more relevant, right?
Mhm.
And then
And
we
then
had,
stuff like Alice happened.
yeah, we had fucking Wonderland Dreams, which was like the second worst expansion known to man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Right now, it's really good. I think
Okay. So hopefully
hopefully,
we'll be able to, or you guys will be able to dodge the bullet for like the entirety of the expansion.
yeah. I mean, right now, Havencraft's really, really fucking strong.
Mhm.
Because they decided to bring back Stormhaven.
Uh,
The very
classic.
beloved archetype.
Mhm.
But yeah, Haven right now is kind of dominating ladder. But if it gets patched, nerfed, I think Shadowverse will probably be in like the best state it's ever been, in my opinion.
Okay.
Other than that, Shadowverse is doing some weird secret countdown thing right now. They have on their website. They have like some countdown, and they have like these silhouettes. And each silhouette is correspondent to a certain class, and nobody has any idea what it is. But we'll find out on Monday. A lot of people think it's a Shadowverse anime, which would be interesting.
Oh,
Um,
that's interesting.
but the thing is that all these silhouettes are for characters that nobody has ever seen in Shadowverse. Like, nobody has any idea
Or
what they
like
are.
Bahamut or anything like that. Nothing.
Yeah, no Bahamut. I mean, there's a dragon, but it's definitely not Bahamut.
Yeah.
The Shadowcraft silhouette is this weird dude in armor with like this big spiky crown.
That's weird.
Is it?
The Forestcraft one is like
Just
this
seems like that just
fairy
seems like
with
new
huge
leaders
wings.
then, to be honest,
I
right?
mean, a lot of people think it's like these new leaders for
New
all the
leaders, new story
classes,
mode.
right? But people are thinking like, yeah, a new story mode with all new characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which would be interesting. But yeah,
It
we'll
would
find
also
out.
be like a way to get people into like oh, there's free jewels or free gems and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
but
free diamonds.
find out on Monday. Very exciting stuff. Hopefully, it's not incredibly disappointing. Like just here's some new cards, guys. Like, all right, you didn't really need the countdown.
rare new leaders.
Yeah. But yeah, some cool stuff for Shadowverse lately. Other than that, I've been playing Code Vein. Pretty good game. Still not too happy that I spent $100 on it, but Canadian dollar
It is what
kind
it
of
is.
sucks. But other than that, just been watching anime.
Okay. Pretty good, pretty good. As for me, I've been, pretty much waiting for the new season to come. Pretty exciting. Nothing else has happened so far. I've been doing a lot more sort of running recently, just because the weather's gotten a lot cooler, and so I like it when it's like cooler, so I can run outside. After it's like, even if it's like sweating, I can kind of like brush it off and stuff like that. So pretty good. I've been getting it a lot of. There's so like literally okay. I've been downloading visual novels, but then I haven't really been going through them. So literally, when I go through like my folder where I have my visual novels, like there's like 1 or 2 pages of folders, or 1.5 page full of folders, and this is like me like making the icons as small as possible, just no details, nothing, right? It's just like a list, and there's 1.5 pages just full of visual novel folders. Like that's how bad this backlog is. So I've been
What's your
trying to
favorite?
start. My favorite.
You'll like that Recto
Out of
Student
the ones I
Council
haven't
one?
read yet. I don't know, but
Is that on your
I've been
backlog? I recommend it. Since you like chocolate ice cream.
fuck. So I've been trying to start with Tonkotsu Akuma. I think Klutzy Devil or Klutzy whatever it is. And then there was one that came out that was like pretty short, and then it was like cat girl and dog girl cafe or something.
Oh,
like
that one?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
Neko Power.
Yeah, Nekopara Volume 3.
But I want to start that one too. So I think
You're thinking of the Ditzy Demons Are in Love with Me.
yeah, the Ditzy demons are in love with me. That is the English.
Why is
translation.
that? There's an Egyptian. That's not a demon. That's
I mean, it could be a demon. It doesn't. I mean, it's not like Egypt didn't have like demon mythology. But
are you
yeah.
are you calling what's that guy's name? Atem a demon?
Maybe. But
What, the
yeah,
Egyptian
so
god cards are gods, not demons. Spire.
yeah. So the Ponkotsu Akuma, the Ditzy demon, is the one with Nepara artist. I think the name is like Sayuri or something like that. Is that am I getting the
Yeah, I
name
think
right?
so.
But yeah, it's it was quite a popular visual novel in Japan as well. I also downloaded Riddle Joker, which was the best
Oh, Riddle
selling visual
Joker.
novel in Japan last year. So I'm trying to read that raw. It hasn't been translated yet. I'm trying to read that raw. So hopefully that works out well for me. But yeah,
Wow,
I'm
weeaboo.
really trying to get back into the visual novel stuff.
Riddle Joker free download. What? It's free?
I don't think it's free.
It
Well,
says,
I think on their site is probably just like a trial thing.
Why?
But,
Wait. What are you translating this? Because I googled it and I got a Vietnamese sub.
it's not translated, at least not in English. I'm just gonna read it.
So you're gonna translate from Vietnamese?
No, I'm just gonna translate for
It's a Japanese visual novel, so
I'm gonna
But
translate it from Japanese.
these giant Vietnamese subtitles are in the way. How can you read that?
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot it automatically came with Vietnamese subs included. But yeah, so I'm just gonna be getting into that hopefully as hard as I can. So like also recently like a lot of streamers and stuff that I watch, especially like the virtual YouTubers, are like getting into Pokemon or having like Pokemon playthroughs, and I keep like I don't know, it really sucks for me because my mindset again, I've told this to everybody, has been like, I want to get into not like get into, but I want to play Pokemon. But every time I play Pokemon, I'm just like, all I want to really do is just kind of like wander around. But
Yeah,
it's like,
Spire. That's called was it Hey? No, not Hey You Pikachu. Let's Go Pikachu.
yeah. I think that's like definitely a better model. Although it's not too much. It's not like a drastic improvement, but it's definitely unimproved. I would say. But like I've never. I mean, like the first or second times I played it when I was a kid, I enjoyed it. But it's like the third or fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh or eighth times where it's like, all right, like everybody I meet is just gonna say some pithy line, or I'm going to have to duke them in the face with my Pokemon. I just stopped enjoying that.
Are you saying you don't like the traditional standard JRPG Spire? Why do you hate Dragon Quest?
I apologize. I didn't know Pokemon.
Or what is it?
let's be real. Dragon Quest has evolved like infinitely more than
That
Pokemon.
is true. Yeah. But
Are you sure?
yeah.
What about what is it? Dragon Quest. What is it? Dragon Quest Jokers? Which one's the monster spinoff? Dragon Quest Monsters?
I don't know, but just like in mainline series, like Dragon Quest has advanced so far beyond its like initial concept, whereas Pokemon is basically still like stuck with its initial concept.
But near kaiju battles.
Yeah, you can fight giant Pokemon.
Wow, you can fight Pokemon whose models are upscaled by like 200%. Wow, that's some
and-
innovative shit.
Generation 3, you can join Pokemon contests, which are essentially Pokemon battles, but you're not battling anybody. You're just you're just battling contests.
Hey,
Like,
hey, Spire, who would win in a fight?
you didn't list me any people.
Oh,
You didn't list...
who would win in a fight? What's it called? Aggron or a metal slime?
Probably a metal slime, because a metal slime
Yeah.
can just run away.
Yeah. But anyways, that's sort of the temptations I've been having so far. So a lot of stuff that I kind of want to juggle, but we'll see how it goes. But anyways, on the note of monsters and cat girls and dog girls and stuff like and ditzy demons, it's a
What?
perfect way. Ditzy demons, like the visual novel.
Oh,
But yes, toast.
not a nice segue. I wasn't paying attention.
Yes. So that's a perfect segue into the series I'm going to be covering called Hataage, Kemono Michi, or in English, it's also known as Kemono Michi, Rise Up. So I'll read the synopsis really quickly.
Hey,
Professional wrestler.
Spired. Speaking of wrestling, did you hear about that one guy who got a wrestling gig?
That one guy.
That one guy who got a wrestling. I think
you
Oh,
know-
are you talking about? Are you talking about
Our friend
Brennan?
Yes, our friend Brennan Williams.
Hey, he's doing commentary for Raw now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shout outs
okay.
to Brennan and your sweet Dio, or no, not Dio, Yoshikage Kiratai. We all saw that.
Yeah, I think
Nice.
he's still doing NXT shit too.
Yeah, weebs are moving up
pretty
in the
good.
world. Watch out.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yes. So
Hey, Dark, who'd win in a fight? Brennan Williams or Wooly?
I mean, definitely Brennan. Like, like, I don't know who would win in a fight. Brennan, yeah, Wooly has had
It'd be a close fight,
does
yeah.
boxing stuff, but it's like Brennan is now a professional wrestler and played football for his entire life. So
definitely a close. Definitely a
I'm
close
just
call.
pretty
Definitely a
close match. Close match. A little too close to call.
But anyways, so let me read the synopsis here. Professional wrestler and animal lover Shibata Genzo is suddenly summoned to another world. Greeted by a princess, she requests to get rid of the evil beast roaming in this world. Outraged that he was asked to kill monsters, Genzo German suplexes the princess. Unable to get back to Earth, he decides to live a peaceful life and manage a quote-unquote monster pet shop. So this is just like isekai stuff, but the premise is made a little bit wonkier by him kind of trying to run it up with, beastmen and stuff like that. And his sort of objective is to, experience and kind of deal with as many beastmen and creatures as possible because he really likes animals. And along the way, he has all these isekai adventures, right? So that's the basic thing.
Tell us about what's his name? Is it Tiger Mask King? Which one is it?
Yeah, Tiger Mask, who is the protagonist, Genzo Shibata. So this
Who would
is
win in a
done
fight? Spire.
You gotta
you play
give
Tekken,
me like 2
don't you?
names. You gotta give me
You
names.
play Tekken, don't
Give me
you?
like
Oh, King or Tiger Man?
Yeah.
King or Tiger Mask.
Definitely
I
King,
think it would
dude.
be pretty. I think it would be a pretty close match. But King also has plenty of
Tiger
times where
Mask
he gets
hasn't
like
done a single combo in episode.
yeah.
So
What? Who's that one guy in that one movie? What's the one movie with the luchadors?
Nacho Libre?
Yeah. There you go. Who would win the fight? Ramses or what's the guy's name? Tiger Mask.
Be a pretty close call. I have to check them out in like a Mugen or something like that. But yeah, so this is essentially again isekai with slightly like pumped up premise, right? I'm not so I'm not necessarily saying that this is gonna pan out like so much better than all the other isekais or whatever. I'm not guaranteeing that, but I do like the sort of tone that it is showing. So, you know, when the dude walks around, he's just like, "Wow, oh fuck it, that animal! I want to go deal with it." It's not really like a how do you say it? It's kind of like what Goblin Slayer would be if it was less focused on goblin, like if it was less focused on like, oh, goblins, oh, they're the enemy, goblins, and then also if the dude was a little bit more lighthearted, it would essentially be that's essentially sort of
It's
how I see it, where it's like,
very cut and dry. Like,
yeah, where it's like the protagonist himself isn't really like he's not really interacting with the rest of the cast, right? He is just himself, right? He is Peter. He is the Rock, right? upon which the story stands. So it's kind of like that. And Pia also asked, "Is there a lot of wrestling?" No, not really. It's more just like
what about
he
the
just
suplex, Spire? Tell us about the suplex.
yeah he just runs at animals or whoever is the enemy and he just suplexes them. That's pretty much the extent of the wrestling in this series.
Spire, isn't suplex the strongest move known to humanity?
No, to humanity.
It is our strongest weapon against the demons.
Yes, it is. It is undefeatable.
Well, who's that one guy that suplexed a train? I believe in him.
What?
What?
Okay.
You never played FF6?
Six.
Is it 6? Yeah. What's that guy's name? Is it Zach?
Fuck. I don't remember.
Sabin. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, Sabine.
Yeah, it's Sabin.
I don't think this. But anyways, so that's pretty much how the rest of this goes. So it's like again, the protagonist I don't think really like interacts with the cast as we know it per se, which is not necessarily like super unusual. It's a little bit more uncommon, but it's like it's not like so let me if I had to describe the difference, it's like somebody comes into isekai and then let's say they meet like hero in one, right? And then they're like, oh, hero in one is like really nice, blah blah. They talk to her,
And then
backstory,
they
and then
enslave her.
yeah, and then the slavers come, yeah. But it's like they get to know each other, and the backstory happens, and then the MC reacts to the backstory and stuff like that. I think this story is a little bit more just like um the protagonist is there, and then like his enemy or the animals or whatever are there. He's like, oh, animal, blah blah blah, and then everybody else, the cast around him, reacts to the protagonist, much like how in Goblin Slayer, the Goblin Slayer himself is just like, goblins, fuck, we gotta kill everyone, last one of them, goblins, and then everybody
you
else.
gotta FMK these goblins.
uh,
Yeah, you know what that means, right, Spire?
Are you talking about?
FMK.
What?
Actually, I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Fuck, Mary, kill.
Yeah. Okay. So why? Because like that's what. Yeah. Because that's what I knew it as, but I didn't think that's where you were fucking going.
I don't think
he
he's
said-
gonna do.
I don't think
two out of
Goblin
three of
Slayer
them.
is trying. Yeah. I think Goblin Slayer is trying to fuck or marry him.
Well, you said the F word, so I was like, oh, is that where you were going now, Spire? So I'm like, okay. You
No.
do you.
No. That was not. Good guess, Toast. It was close. But what was I gonna say? So it is much like Goblin Slayer, where Goblin Slayer is like, oh, I'm gonna get all these goblins, and then everybody else around him reacts to the sort of ferocity and the savagery with which he kills these goblins, right? So it is a little bit like that, I think, which combined with a lighter tone, I do think it is an interesting combination. I can't promise that it won't turn formulaic, but I do think it's a good start. So that's sort of what I'll say about it. Yeah, the fuck part is still a problem. That's the problem. You still don't want to fuck the goblins. But anyways,
But what if it's a really cute goblin? He did say
No.
there are some good goblins.
no,
Probably.
no, not even that.
You see those...
Wait, Goblin Slayer said There are some good
there
goblins.
might be some good goblins, but he never met them yet.
Yeah. He said there might. There's a probability, non-zero chance. But anyways, do you guys have any questions, or did anybody else watch Kemono Michi here?
Isn't this
I
by the
watch it.
same guy who made Konosuba? Is that why the
I
comedy is familiar?
believe so.
He's
But,
on a roll, isn't he? Or she? Or it?
No. It's a.
Isn't it? I thought it was. Are you lying to me, Spire?
No, actually, no.
Alright,
It is not by the Konosuba
What?
person, I think.
Let me
Or at least-
let me cross-reference you.
Doesn't
I
even
could be
believe
wrong
you.
though.
Yeah, I don't
But yeah,
believe you.
anyway, I watched it. I thought it was pretty funny.
But yeah, I think it again. I think it has a pretty good premise coming up. But oh no, it is.
See, how dare you, Spire?
But yeah. So it is a she and a Natsume Akatsuki.
She's on a roll. Like she has this one, she has Kemono Michi, then she's got that Sentoin's whatever's. right.
Sentai Hakai Shimasu. Yeah.
That one's okay too, I guess.
Yeah. I do think that she is like they're very good. I wouldn't say necessarily they're classics, but they are all very solid.
That's because you have to wait like what 5 years because Konosuba is already an anime classic.
No.
No.
Nope.
And who is saying these things?
It's like the Attack on Titan director, dude. It's like oh, it's gonna last for 50 years or whatever he said.
When did
But
when did
anyways.
Konosuba
Said
come
that?
out?
Oh
26.
god.
He
No,
said,
it was a
He
manga.
said he has like 10-year roadmap or some shit.
Yeah.
This is not something you want to hear.
Yeah. Anyways.
PSO2 has a 10-year roadmap. Let's
That's
compare.
fine. That's a video
It's a
game.
game.
Yeah, that's completely different.
You don't really want to hear that for like a fucking
Shonen
manga.
anime.
Like, man, I've got a 10-year roadmap. It'll never end. Is that what
Stuck
you
in the
want?
basement forever. But anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say about Kemono Michi. I do think it's a lighthearted thing. People should check it out. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about it. Hopefully, I'm definitely going to be able to catch up and watch more series or more episodes of it, or even just check out the original. I do want to check out the original. It is a manga original, I believe. Yeah, but yeah,
As for me,
check it out.
I don't like it.
That is a
well-
I just don't like that guy. Why? What? He's a. What's
He's
the
a
word?
freak.
What's the word for you liking animals? Zootopian?
Yeah, he's a
A furry?
Zootopian.
Oh, he's
Utopian? What?
What's
Is
the
it
word?
Utopian? I think you're mixing up a movie name there somewhere.
Isn't it? No. It's like what's the word
Yeah.
for you really like animals? But he's not a furry just because he has a tiger mask. It's like that doesn't make him a furry.
It's
Didn't
probably
we
like
go over
fucking
this last episode?
Yeah.
It's Zoophile.
Fuck, yeah.
Zoophile.
Yeah. Well then, see, I was right. Zoo. The zoo is in the word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zootopia.
I mean, because it's related to
Zootopian,
animals. Yeah. Toast. Surprise. But anyways, Toad, would you like to?
I don't like the guy. Kazuma's got the Kazuma writer person has the quirk where my main character is different from the others because he's not like your typical Japanese protagonist. It's like I don't like this guy.
I
Unlike
mean, isn't he
Kazuma-
also?
Kazuma thinks
mean-
everyone's an idiot, but at least he'll get along with people. And like use them for his own dastardly schemes, and he's somewhat likable, even though he's,
I mean, I think
out for himself
I wouldn't
only.
say this
he's
guy is
also not
unlikable.
really- Yeah, I mean, he's pretty common sense, and also he's not the regular Japanese high school MP or anything like that.
He's on the side of the zoo. What is it called? Zoophant? What did we call it?
Zoophile?
Zoophile. He's like, I believe this animal over you humans. I'll beat you up with my suplex.
So you're saying the
It's
reason
not so
you
much
don't
he
like him is
believes
because
the animals or
Yeah,
something.
he just likes
He
them.
just likes them and knows
So
ways
the
of dealing
reason
with
you
them that
don't-
are non-lethal.
So the reason you don't like him is because he wants to fuck with animals. Is that sort of how?
Yeah, he's we already have enough of that in a later better series, so get that
Later
out of here.
better-
What?
Whoa. Okay.
Oh, B stars.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite right, but okay.
Who would win in a
Anyways.
fight? Who would win in a fight?
Definitely this guy.
Not the Beast Stars.
No,
No.
Do
he's
you
shown
know?
himself pretty able to handle like
Like
what's it called?
three-headed dogs.
Did
Yeah,
he
or just
suplex a golem
beast.
yet? Or is
Not
that
yet.
Probably will sometime.
good? Yeah, well, wait till he suplexes a golem. That's cool, I guess.
Anyways, Toast, you want to cover your series?
What? Oh. Speaking of isekais that I hate, let's talk about Sword Art Online: War of the Underworld.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Let's
That
not
is
talk
the
about
series.
Did
that.
you know episode 00 came out and it showed Kirito?
0-0.
Kirito in a crater surrounded by blood, and then some guys shooting at Asuna with real guns in real life. That was cool.
Oh, I hope they shoot her in the face.
No.
Anyways, which
There were
series
some
did you cover?
SWAT SEAL guys shooting at Asuna with real bullets, and I'm like, what? This isn't GGO. She doesn't play. Does she play
Teal
GGO?
Team 6.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Anyway, crap, what's it called?
Uh,
Yeah.
Shinchou
I
Yuusha?
watched.
You want me to read?
I
read
watched.
Shinchou Yuusha.
Yeah, that. How'd you know? Shinchou
Shinchou
Yuusha.
Yuusha. このユースが俺れトゥエークセに身長すぎる is I believe the title.
It's a long
Or
one.
you can just say Shinchou Yuusha.
Cautious hero. The hero was overpowered but overly cautious. Yeah. It has a 7.57 on Mall. Rank 1516, popularity 1916, members 46,802. What does this mean?
It means that so many people are
Following.
saying they're watching it on Mall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that. Okay, keep going to
So, okay, let me tell you about this Yuusha.
Is he careful?
You know, or Spire, how do you play your RPGs?
I mean, I play it pretty like I try to overlevel instead of underlevel.
Okay, how about you, Dark?
Depends on the RPG.
Let's
if
say
we're
let's say
talking,
the main
like,
traditional Dragon Quest or
I
any other
don't.
like that.
Haha. In general, on RPGs, I save fucking constantly. So.
Okay, what about you? What about you, Nier?
I just play them as I go, bro.
Do you do the side quests and level up and all that funny
Yeah,
stuff?
I mean,
Do
I
you
try.
level up in an RPG?
I do indeed a level up.
How
I am
how
a
much-
gamer.
How much do you like grinding?
I don't grind very much at all. I usually I'll do as many side quests as possible because I don't like missing any content when I'm doing.
Oh
the game.
yeah, that's the big thing. Yeah.
So I'll do as many side quests as I possibly can. I'll even look up if I'm missing anything.
Mhm.
If there's like if the game is segmented into chapters or something, I'll always look up before the end of the chapter whether I'm missing something. But I don't grind. I don't like grinding for EXP.
Okay, but so which one of you would sit in your room for a week doing push-ups and sit-ups until you're level 15 instead of starting off at level 1?
Not me.
Not me.
Well, that's this guy.
Okay.
What's his name? Ryugu Komachi?
Yugu Komachi, I believe.
Ryuguin Seiya.
Oh.
Ryugu Seiya.
What then, Spire? What's Ryugu Komachi? I feel like you know this.
Yugu Komachi is an idol master group, dude.
Oh, right. Yeah. Isn't that the one with the glasses chick? No?
No.
No, it's the one with the forehead chick, right?
Yeah, Iori.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, where was I?
Okay.
No, I see the
You're
I see the
trying to
glasses
describe-
chick in here. You lied to me.
What are you talking about?
I see. What's her name? Reedsco? Yeah, she's in here. Okay. Anyway,
Ryuga Komachi ended up being. She's the fucking producer for the unit. She's not actually part of the unit. But
are you saying that director's not part of the Idol Master universe? Anyway, where was I? So tales say about so there's this you know the multiverse theory, right? Like in the one starring Jet Li, or I guess Marvel Cinema. No, they don't have a multiverse. Let's go. Yeah, the one starring Jet Li with Jason Statham as that one guy. I think that was his first major role, movie role.
okay. Cause where are we going with this?
You know how there's a multiverse, right?
Yeah.
So
sure.
above these multiverse are these pantheon of gods, not unlike the throne of heroes that exists outside of the universe.
Okay.
So the gods are all like, hey, let's make up some worlds, and then they're all like, oh no, this world, how to pronounce it, Gaia brand, something like that, has a danger level of S.
Gaia brand, I believe. Yeah.
So then they're like, okay, let's have a raffle to see which god goes in and saves it. Then they pick, what's her name? So they're like, okay, let's goddess raffle. Listarte. Here, take this subjugation rank S world and do something with it, and you might be a full-fledged god later on. And she's all like, cool. And then she's all like, all right, let me pick out my summoned hero, because you know those Japanese love their summoned heroes. And she's all like, hey, this guy has cool stats. Let's summon him. And then she summons him, and he's all like, who are you? And then here where am I going with this?
Okay. Well. Okay.
What's
let me-
the
let me
show
just-
about?
And then the guy's all like, oh, and then she's all like, hey, dude, help me save the world. You like those isekai like in your light novels and games, right? And he's all like, no. She's all like, oh. I'm like, oh, whatever, here. Let's go start your new adventure. And he's all like, no. Let me train for a week.
Yeah, he's like super cautious
In
about everything.
preparation. Yeah, because that's his what is it? His unique personality skill, whatever.
He keeps spare sets of armor. He has he stocks all the items. He does max level before he goes out and anything to do anything. So on.
Spire. Let me ask you: if you if you buy an item, how many copies of an item do you get?
If I could get it over and over again.
If you were in an RPG,
I
you
guess as
what?
I guess as many as I would just barely need is
What?
sort of
No,
about it.
I mean like equipment wise.
Equipment wise, just the one
Why-
that I just
why?
need.
Me,
You're not equipping more
For
than
like
one.
armor?
Like
But
unless
overall-
unless it degrades. There's no repair
No.
system. I would just get one. Yeah.
no, Spire. The correct answer is 2. You get
Why?
one. You get one to equip, and then one that stays in your item collection. Your item collection screen forever as a hey, I got this item once. And then once you're done with,
But you can see it on your
You just
equipment screen.
unequip
Then when
it
you
at
unequip
some
it, you
point.
have 2, and it fucking looks stupid.
see, you keep one, right? You keep one for item collection purposes, so it fills in your status menu.
Is this like the Comcat Dojin kind of thing where it's you have the 3 copies,
Yeah,
right? Where it's
yeah.
you get one for keepsake, and then you have another one for spare or whatever it is.
No, it's
Is
you.
that-
You
one
have
for reading, one as the spare,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then one to keep sealed.
yeah,
Yeah.
What the fuck? One to marry and one to kill.
Yeah. But this
Just
guy,
like goblins.
yeah, but this guy's like, all right, let me get this one to use. And here's my spare. Then the spare of a spare in case it gets broken. And I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Bit more.
Oh my god.
He's got a case of the mind goblins, as one that Patrick Boyven likes to call. Yeah. Is that Dark? Is that what it is? Mind goblins?
I don't know.
It's what he calls his OCD.
Mind goblins?
Because he's all like, you know, in RPGs when you pick up an elixir, it's all like, oh, this fully heals me. I better save it for the boss.
Oh yeah, or you just hoard
never
all of
use
your
it?
items
Yeah.
and never use any of them.
Because you're all like, what if I need it?
Yeah,
What
I'll
if-
need this later.
Yeah.
Then you never use it.
You know, it's like when it's. I used to have that, but I'm like, I don't care anymore. Whatever.
Okay.
What are we talking about? Yeah, but so this
what are
dude.
your what's your okay, so summary aside, what's your impressions of the series?
It's got the Goblin Slayer guy's voice. That's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah,
Not much of an impression, but
Umehara Yuichiro, I believe.
I mean that's cool. People like Listarte 'cause she's like the new generation of anime watchers, Aqua, I guess. Because she's
I don't think
The
the
new generation.
has
Wait, what?
passed.
Calm down. What? Okay.
what do you Spire? This is a new generation. This is fall 2019. The next generation
Oh,
is
sorry.
it's already a new gen.
I apologize.
the next generation's winter 2019. 20
Okay.
or winter 2020. But yeah, she's got that Aqua syndrome where she's like, oh look at me, I'm a goddess and I can do stuff, and then the main dude's all like, shut up, leave me alone. Well, what is it? What is it? What do the kids call it? The Aqua syndrome, the useless goddess.
The Aqua syndrome? I don't think that's a
Useless goddess.
Just
I don't think that's a
Well,
thing that people say.
I don't know, man. Have you seen Don Machi? Hestia's pretty useless.
No. I'm
Aqua's
not
pretty
saying
useless.
I'm not saying that there isn't like a rash of stuff like useless goddesses. I'm saying that I don't think it's called the Aqua syndrome. I don't think anybody is saying that.
What is it called? Aquapaza? What's the word?
What the fuck are you talking about?
There's a word for what do you call the useless goddess trope?
You could just call it the useless goddess trope, right?
That's 3 words.
What?
Well,
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's
matter
too
how many
many.
words. You could
Yeah.
just, you could-
Me talk like this to save time. Yeah. Just
But
like,
anyways.
just like Kevin from The Office.
Yeah. But do you have
Anyways,
any closing words on how Shinchou Yuusha is and whether people should watch it?
the light novel author said like, hey, I wrote this guy this way because you know how you gamers rise up and over level just to beat a boss instead of using strategy. Well, it's a parody of that. And like and there was all something like you know how your light novels are self inserts? Well, guess what? This guy's a jerk. Haha.
Oh, yeah, the classic like
Yeah.
So I'm not like you guys, blah blah blah. Blah.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean it's all right. It's pretty funny. If you like that Konosuba-ish humor, sure.
Mhm.
She makes funny faces. She doesn't make the aqua face though.
I think also it's voiced by Toyosaki Aki.
Who's
So
that?
it's most famous for Yui and Keon. But
Who the heck's Yui?
Yui,
Toast,
Yui?
shut the fuck up.
Keon, hello? Are you talking in anime here? What's happening right now? But
Who's
Are
that?
you talking about
What's
Are you
K-On?
talking
I
about
don't know
Manaka
what that is.
Sajo from Fate Prototype? Because I know her from that.
anyways, but yeah, so Toyosaki Aki is running it, so I think she would make a pretty good, to see headed, it's the air-headed goddess.
Yeah, so it's pretty funny. This guy's level 15, but he's all like level 1 slime, so he uses all of his ultimate Ogies on it. But then I realized that there's a loophole in this. He's not that cautious, is he? Why would he use all his skills on a level 1 slime?
there's that thing, right, where it's like you wouldn't actually blow everything on.
No.
something
It's why would he use up almost all of his MP on one enemy when he doesn't know if there would be another enemy like that could pop out right near him.
That is true.
That's true. I mean, he did buy a bunch of MP potions, so I guess you could circumvent by saying that. But if you were really overly cautious and OCD, you would never use
Yeah,
Oh.
shit series.
Oh well, but yeah,
Yeah. Us master of mind goblins know what's up. He's a faker.
oh Jesus. Anyways,
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'll recommend it.
okay.
Personally, I'm pretty lukewarm about it, but I was lukewarm about the original concept, proof of concept. What's it called? The
Concept.
the light
The-
novel.
the-
Yeah, the light novel slash
You're
manga.
talking about
But
the original light novel premise.
yeah, but seeing it in animation is actually boosted up its rating a bit. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny.
Okay, pretty nice. All right.
It's all right.
Well, thank you, Toast, for helping to cover Shinchou Yuusha. I know it's again one of the bigger isekais that are coming out.
It's
this
it's going to be the biggest isekai this season. If
Okay.
not the other one, which I'll cover
Uh,
later.
But yeah.
Also, I watched Azure Lane episode 1.
Okay.
I'll give you 10 seconds. The opening is not as good as Kankole's opening. There was no Nagato. There was no Kankole Nagato
There were
in this
none of the
episode.
Kankole characters.
So I
None
was-
of the
Thank you,
Kankole
Toast.
characters.
So I was kind of upset. However,
How come there's no Kankole Fubuki in Azure Lane opening? What the hell?
however, the first episode action-wise was way better than Kankole's.
All right.
Did you see Nier? Did you see Unicorn? Unicorn's
Yeah, I
pretty
did.
cool. She's like 3 feet. How can
Yeah,
she? How
okay,
can
well.
she be shorter than Kankole or Azure Lane Javelin?
All right. Thank you, Toast, for covering Azure Lane. And with that, we are going to move on to Nier.
Nier, who
Um,
would win in a fight?
yeah, literally not listening, anybody.
I don't
Thank
know.
you, Toast.
No, I was. We were just talking about Azure Lane Fubuki versus
That is
No,
not what we're talking about.
Kankole
I
Fubuki
don't
versus
think we
Azure Lane Javelin. Who would win?
we were not talking about that at
I
all.
don't think we were talking about that.
Well, who would win?
Probably, I don't even know. I don't even remember who you were talking about just now.
Javelin or Fubuki?
Probably Javelin, because Fubuki's fucking boring and stupid.
Javelin's not boring though, so she gets like cool points.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Anyway,
Anyways, moving on.
I watched Chuubyou Gekihatsu Boy.
Yes.
Otherwise known as, I don't know. It's
Is that the
the
Iruma-kun one?
English.
No.
I mean,
The
Oh
English,
no, this is completely different. Okay.
the English listed on Mal says young
Young-
disease outburst boy, which I don't think
What?
is correct.
Like
Well,
Young diseased boys.
Yeah.
oh,
think,
it's like Chunibyo syndrome.
yeah, Chuubyou is like it's like Chuubyou is like yeah, Toast said sort of like Chunibyo, but it's like the
Eighth
kanji
grader
is slightly
disease,
different.
yeah.
It's like childish. It's like being childish more than it is like specifically Chunibyo. You know what I mean? Where Chunibyo is like specifically that like niche like that. Sort
But
of
yeah,
like, edgy
we
boy
already
niche.
had an anime made by Kyoto Animation. It was pretty cool. Check it out.
Yeah,
But,
I believe the subs in the actual version I watched
Mhm.
translates it as outburst dreamer boys. So
What?
I think
Kind of-
Dreamer might be slightly better, but so essentially again, Chubio is like the kanji is like Chu comes from like being childish, being sort of having these like adolescent kind of I guess like outbursts or whatever, and then Bio is like obviously disease, right? So it's like if you treat it like a thing where it's like childish outburst, I think would be the more accurate way to say it in a sense. But either way, keep going.
essentially the show is a I guess it's sort of a reverse harem in a way.
Yeah,
where-
it does have a slight like difference though, which
Yeah,
I will
it's
mark.
there's
call it
five boys and there's one girl.
boys.
And all the boys are part of what is it, the Heroes Club, for their school, which is basically a club where they just help people out. And they pretty much just do chores, right? But all the boys in the club have, I guess, some sort of this Chuubyou, right? Where they're, I guess, very childlike, I guess, man children in a way. One is the one with the glasses, an extreme Chunibyo. He, does the whole shtick where he has a dark past and his right arm is like holding back some secret dark power, and he goes
Hey,
on monologues all the
that's
time.
my stick. You can't steal that.
Yeah. Um, and the like blonde one wearing the pink is like addicted to gotcha games, and he is only interested in 2D girls, and all his quote unquote friends are 2D gotcha characters.
Wow, just like me.
And then there's the blue haired kid with like the weird. I'm assuming the thing he's wearing on his head is supposed to be like a mock, like Ultraman fin.
Oh,
Yeah, it was kind of confusing me.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's like a weird Ultraman thing. But he's basically addicted to Sentai, Power Ranger stuff. He refers to all the other members with colors like purple. He refers to the girl as pink. He's of course red. And he basically sees like all of life as like basically an episode of some tokusatsu Sentai series. The green-haired guy is not in episode 1, if I remember correctly, and I don't know what the hell the pink guy's deal is. So
Yeah, they all have their like weird gimmicks. The interesting thing is though, and I do want to kind of change the perspective a little bit early if I can.
Yeah.
Is that so? It's like in both harem and I think also pretty significantly in reverse harem. One of the big things is it's like obviously they have all their different shticks and personalities, stuff like that, right? Like the Genki boy, and then the Chunibyo, and then the cool like glasses dude, blah blah blah. They all have that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then with the harem specifically, it's like again what I describe as spokes on a wheel, where it's like the main character interacts with the boy or the girl, and that's sort of the brunt of the storytelling, right? Where it's like the relationship interaction. He is cool. I respond to him being cool, and I get to know more about him. Blah blah blah. Right?
Yeah.
But in this case, a lot of the story is centered around um, the the boys kind of doing. I mean, it's only episode 1, so I don't exactly know too well yet. But it seems to be centered around the boys doing their shit, whatever it is, right? And then the girl kind of being like an almost like a Watson figure, right? And a Sherlock Holmes, it's like an almost like chronicling just like what the hell is going on, right? It's like the girl is just like, okay, you guys are doing this, sure, and then the boys are just kind of doing their thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is not really interacting so much as it is being like, oh, that's interesting. Which I do think is not necessarily a bad thing if you're trying to take the more like a more like a romance edge off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is definitely a comedy focused series, right? So, um, I don't think it's gonna be like the girl's gonna be like, oh, they're actually fucking hot, and I love them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the way it's structured is the girl is kind of like the, I guess, quote unquote, normal pillar in between all of these like really wacky characters, and
Mhm.
I guess she's supposed to be like the quote unquote grounded one, even though uh likely as the series goes on, she gets pulled into this club, and she gets you know involved in their hijinks, right? Um, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna be romance like at all,
near
right? I
near
don't.
Yeah.
how near how old are they again?
They're in high school,
High
I
school?
think.
Oh, not middle. Oh boy.
I think. I mean, it might be middle school. I don't know. I don't know if they ever actually explicitly said. Um, but I'm pretty sure it's high school.
Who would win in a fight? These guys are the Chunibyo guys.
Probably these guys, because the ranger guy kicks a fucking basketball net with his fucking
He
shin.
You don't.
also jumps 2 stories out
Yeah,
of a
he
building
jumps out of a 2-story
and
window.
scores a fucking soccer goal.
Yeah, he jumps out of a 2-story window as he kicks a soccer ball that's flying into the window. He scores the goal, lands, and then the class rep's like, "Yeah, he's pretty good at sports."
You don't believe in the dark frame master?
But yeah, this series is pretty good. I was pretty pleasantly surprised by how funny it was. I wasn't really expecting. When I first saw this, I actually thought like all of them were going to be Chunies. So I was a little bit surprised that all of them were actually very different, right? Um, and I was also surprised it isn't like your traditional reverse harem, where the girl is like actually infatuated with all of them. She kind of thinks they're all big losers, but she hangs out with them anyway because she's the new transfer student, so she doesn't have
Right,
much of a
exactly.
choice. Uh,
And she kind of gets roped into the pace of everything.
yeah. And yeah, I mean it's pretty good. It's pretty funny. I laughed pretty hard when I was watching it. But
Yeah, the pacing is pretty snappy. I wouldn't say it's like super hectic necessarily, but it's just like it definitely just goes from scene to scene. It's not. It
yeah,
doesn't really like,
it's
slow
quite
down.
snappy, which is nice.
I would say a little bit like. eh, I would like to say one thing. I think they put like 80% of their money into the opening.
Yeah, the opening is quite nice.
And then the thing is the contrast between the opening and then the frames.
Yeah, the opening looks pretty good. It's got a pretty nice catchy tune to it, and then immediately like what is it, the opening shot or whatever, when he's like swimming through the thing, and then
Yeah,
the dude like throws something, and the
yeah.
ground under him is like this 240p like blurry ass
Or the frame
dirt.
just before they cut to the opening where they're all just kind of like looking away and it's like they have the different boys splayed out and it's like
Yeah,
they're all
they're
just like
all like,
super.
yeah, they're basically just in between frames, but um I guess it's important to note this is by Studio Dean, um who I guess recently has actually been on a pretty long streak of these like reverse harem series,
Mhm.
because it kind of makes them a decent amount of money, right?
Right.
But yeah, it looks okay, I guess. There's a few spots where it's like, yeah, this kind of looks like shit. But I mean, it's not a super high motion series, so
Yeah,
it kind of gets away with it.
it's not
But
trying to like prove a point with that stuff, and it's like the engine itself runs well enough. Is I
yeah,
guess.
I mean, it doesn't hurt my eyes when I'm looking at it, right? So it does its job. The little the I guess the commercial break little cut-ins where they had like the change in colors on the scenes they were pretty nice looking, even if it was sort of a cheap effect, I guess. But
Mhm.
um, some decent audio visuals from Studio Dean, like
Right.
for Dean's standards, I guess.
Oh, this is Dean.
Yeah, it's Dean.
Okay,
So, but
pretty stand for Dean, but
yeah, I mean, it
uh,
looks okay for Studio Dean quality.
Do you get the really cool? Was it in frames in this one? You see those?
Uh, I was looking. I didn't see many.
All right.
There's no what is it? Aqua's face stretching like 3 meters wide. There's nothing like that.
Or those are great
Um,
though. Or the or what is it? Stick Lancer with
yeah, Stick
Archer.
Lancer with
I mean,
Blob Archer.
I reach watch the movie and it's so obvious.
Yeah.
It's like
There's
can't
nothing
hide that.
quite like that in this. But it is episode 1, so who knows? Maybe later.
You
But
win for
other than
now,
that,
Dean.
yeah. Other than that, pretty good comedy series. Pretty snappy. I think if you like, I guess, yeah, it's pretty slapstick, right?
yeah.
A lot of yelling, a lot of I guess, a lot of yelling, screaming, some embarrassing moments here and there. Just people being really zany, right? Uh, if you like that kind of comedy, I would definitely recommend it because I mean it made me laugh pretty hard.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid for what it is.
Okay.
I would just say like, don't let the reverse harem like cover I guess cover art in a way. Like it sort of initially presents itself as like reverse harem, right? 5 guys, 1 girl. But it's not really like that. It's just straight comedy. So I would definitely recommend it if you like that style of comedy for sure.
Okay.
Well, I would say if it seems like if for reverse harem by the end you'd expect the heroine to fall in love with them. In this, it's more of by the end she might think that they're human.
Yeah, she'll be like, I guess these guys are my friends.
Yeah. These guys are good kids after all.
Yeah.
It's like Goonies shit, but it's like. But anyways.
What's the Stephen King movie where they see their dead body?
Movie?
Oh, Stand By
Yeah,
Me.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
That's not Stephen King, I don't think, is it?
No, I think it is.
I don't think is Stand By Me Peter King. Stephen
Stephen
King. Peter
Peter King.
King. Not Peter King.
Near who would win in a fight? What are these? What do you call them? The Dencho boys?
Chuubyows?
Yeah, these Chuubyou boys or the kids from Sandlot?
Again, guy jumps from a 2-story window.
Yeah,
fucking
but
scores a soccer goal.
yeah, but you seen that one guy get
Pretty
chased throughout the
solid.
town by the Beast? That was cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah, probably these guys. Guys are kind of freaks of nature at this point. But yeah.
Do they play ball like a girl? Oh,
No.
sick burn, bro. What?
Anyways, moving on. Last but not, and again, thank you very much, Nier, for helping to cover Chuubyou Gekihatsu Boy. And last but definitely not least, Dark.
Yeah, I watched a show that I thought would be pretty safe for an episode 1 review as well. And I watched uh, if I can find it, Houkago Saikoro Club,
Yeah,
which is translated to After School Dice Club in some places.
or I guess the more general like way to do it is like after school board game club or something like that.
Yeah.
Dark. Let me ask this
So
real quick. What board
what?
game are they playing in this picture? Because I don't play board games.
I don't
It's
know
Catan, isn't it?
myself,
'Cause it's
but
hexagon.
I imagine
Is-
it
is
is
this-
Probably
something
some
like
form
that.
is
of
this that
Catan.
Warhammer that everyone talks about?
No, it's
No?
not Warhammer.
For no, that is
That would be fucking funny if they do that at some point though. If they I imagine they'll go through like miniatures and stuff.
They'll go through some
Is
off-brand
This the
version
Cones
of
of Dunshire.
war games.
So in episode 1 so far, they showed like 2 like pretty obscure games, I think. I forget what the first one is. It was like some German board game, and then the first one I think was called like Mech. Fuck, I forget the
Mech
name
Warrior?
actually. Spire,
Nice.
do you remember it? Mecha. No, it's for like the actual city, Mecca. But anyway, I'll get into that. I'll look it up actually. But yeah, so series is about primarily 3 girls. It starts off with just the blue-haired girl Marika, and she's starting uh, uh, school in Kyoto, and just
yes,
moved there, I believe.
yes, yes,
I
yes.
think.
And
And
it's like Kyoto is like, for those of you who don't know, although I think a decent number of people kind of have uh sort of a decent knowledge of this once they get into enough anime, but it's like um it is like an old town and it's like you see all these temples and stuff like that, but it's not necessarily like um there's nobody there. It's not like some like North Dakota, South Dakota in the US kind of shit. But it is sort of considered a more like boonies place or than a more hick place than say Tokyo, right? Or Shinjuku or that sort of urban metropolitan area is sort of how it's considered. So that's sort of the context. Anyways, keep going, Dark.
But yeah, so she starts school in a new place, and it opens up with her giving like some dramatic monologue of how she's never really known how to have fun. And just like basically like shit like that. And that she doesn't like being in crowded areas, etc., etc. And then she winds up running into the brown-haired girl after school,
Mm-hmm.
and they get lost for fun. And she basically has a panic attack because she doesn't like the idea of just being lost. But then the other girl just tells her, like, we're just pretending. Like, she knows where they are. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously they're going to be able to get back. And then it starts like a whole sort of further adventure until they find the student council president going somewhere late at night in like the entertainment district. And they stumble into a game store for tabletop games. And that's pretty much where it seems like a lot of the show is going to center around now, because then the manager ropes them into playing a board game with them, and it just kind of goes from there with banter and just trivia.
Mm-hmm.
And so the episode was essentially split up with character interaction and introduction for the first half, and then the second half was pretty much entirely uh, just the board game they were playing for the episode.
Right. So what I actually like about Houkago Saikoro Club is that like, so you know how it's like in a lot of these trivia series where it's like, whether it's about guns or whether it's about camping or whatever it is, right? Although the camping stuff has been pretty faithful, but faithful to like the theme. But it's like a lot of these series, what they do is like they have this trivia as sort of the backbone, right? So it's like, oh, we're doing this today, or like we're taking these photos, or we're doing, you know, I don't know, we're baking this today, or whatever it is, right? And then they say that, so they spend like 1 or 2 minutes describing it, right? And then they spend 10 minutes just being like, oh, by the way, I'm like this sort of character. This is my backstory, stuff like that, and really kind of just messing around with how the characters are, rather than kind of really dealing with the theme of this series, right? Whether it's playing games again or cooking or whatever it is, right? So in this series, I think there's again the character development is there, like just like talking and like how the characters are, blah blah. But the important thing is they actually play the board game, right? It's not just like in front of them, like, oh, this is the board game. That's the name of the game, guys. And they actually like take turns at the game and actually play, which is, I think,
Yeah.
a really good part of it.
You know what I
Yeah,
just
so
figured out?
they play a game called Marrakesh, in which the objective is to roll, I think, 2 dies, and then, or no, you roll 1 die, and then you move a little, and every single player moves the same like little guy piece on a grid board, and you place down carpets where he's standing, and so you can place him in any configuration in front or behind him or to the side of him, and you just can't overlap carpets, and when another player, while they're rolling, lands on a rug, they have to pay the person who the rug belongs to. And then you just take turns and keep going until until like everyone else runs out of money, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, so they played like a not like a full game, obviously, but they take like multiple turns and stuff, and they get into the rules and some like
Right,
small
and they like talk
strategy and thought,
strategy. Yeah, exactly. That's
yeah, and thought processes and everything. And so that was like a really cool part about it. It's definitely going to be like obviously the highlight of the series. And so I think I think pacing wise, I think it's fine, and I think it's going to be pretty good throughout. Just with that, just because you'll have like the character interactions for the first 10 minutes, and then I think like 10 minutes to like 12 minutes dedicated to like one game is more than enough time. So I'm thinking think it's gonna be pretty solid. I'm pretty excited to see like what other games they wind up getting into.
yeah.
I'm hoping that they're able to get into like some pretty decent like non-off-brand stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Uh,
So in the chat they're like, you know, I can't believe an anime about cute girls doing a hobby. Like they actually do the hobby. Like to be fair, I think there are series where cute girls doing cute things or random hobbies, and then kind of drifting off into just focusing on the cute girls. Um, there's some merit in that where it's like I would say Yuri, or maybe to a lesser extent something like Upot, where that's like the gun girls, right? Where it's like they have some girls, they do some gun stuff, they have some like tournament stuff, but it looks like a lot of this focused on like guns and like a little bit of trivia here and there, so on and so forth, right? And then Yuri, of course, just the characters, right? Just bouncing around. But I do think there's a bad version of it where it's like what is it, Tamayura, right?
I
Tamayura,
fucking knew it. I knew with like 1,000,000% certainty you were gonna bring that up.
Yeah, exactly. You
I
know me too
fucking-
well, dude.
I hate that show so much.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. Or where okay, so I don't hate it, but it does help me. It does put me to sleep at night. Is what I'll say exactly about it.
hit me with the deets. What is this series? Because I don't know what it is.
Tamayura is a
Oh
series.
wait, what?
It's basically girls doing photography, right? Was the initial premise, right? And
Yeah, exactly.
the entire show,
Father,
the
right, yeah.
entire fucking show, is basically just still shots
Yeah.
because
Like
all
nothing
they're
else.
doing is photography.
And it's not even.
And it
They're not even
doesn't
doing
go-
photography. It's like the girls like talk about photography.
Yeah,
and
they
she's
don't
like,
even take pictures. They don't.
Yeah,
like, they'll
the
talk
girl's like,
about her
wow,
camera.
This is a good scenery, and then it's like it's
She
just
doesn't
like
take
20
a picture of it.
and then it's just like 15 minutes of still shots.
Near
That's
is
a bad example of
isn't
like
this that one series with the person that likes smelling people or whatever?
I don't remember, man. All I remember is being bored out of my fucking mind. That show
Yeah.
is like trash.
yeah, it is really bad. It's like it really puts me to sleep. It's like one of the few series where I was like, this is actually just putting me to sleep. I don't know what the hell is going on. But yeah, that's a bad example, I think, of cute girls doing like having a
Actually
hobby,
having
but
a
not actually doing anything about the hobby.
So you're saying it's not as good as Photokano?
Photocon is completely different to us. But thank you. But yeah.
Or what about
I
who would win in a fight? The girls from Fatal Frame or the Tamayuri Photo girls? What?
the Fatal Frame girls will probably fall asleep. So I would say the Tamayura girl. But anyways, that I do think there are good examples and bad examples of these sorts of like types. But definitely, it is kind of getting. It can be the cute girls doing cute things and then not actually doing those things can be very easily abused as a premise is what I want to say, and I think Nier would agree, right? It's like we're this club, and then they don't ever do it, and you're like, are you though? Are
Yeah,
you
I
though?
just think the bizarre thing about that too is just that how unnecessary it is because of how like many shows you have where it's like, oh, what club are they a part of? It's like the going home club.
Yeah.
They're not a part. They're not actually in a club, so it's like I do find it weird that there are multiple cases where they don't even do the hobby.
I mean, it's a big reason why I just completely stopped watching that genre of anime of girls in X club doing X hobby, because majority of the time, like they're not really doing that. It's mostly just like girls interacting with like 5 minutes of trivia, right? And even
Yeah.
then, sometimes there's not even trivia. Sometimes it's just like, here's this thing in the background. right?
Vocabulary.
Like, it's like Tamayura has like the premise of photography, right?
Yeah.
But really, the only thing they talk about is her father's camera.
Yeah, exactly. Her father, and it's like, oh, my
there's
father
no-
passed away, but the memories, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no photography terms. Like, there's no like trivia about like like what kind of camera it is, like what
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
lenses she uses. There's nothing. She's just like, I love taking pictures because this is my father's camera. Like there's
if it was like if the trivia was like a mile long and like an inch deep, right? Like how it is in like say Girls with Pants or Po, where it's like these Japanese like girl like guns and tank otakus are just telling the producers all this info, right? So it's like Girls with Panzer has a lot of shallow trivia, right? Po has a lot of shallow trivia, right? But in Tamayura, it's not even that. It's not even a mile long. It's just like it's like an inch long and like
it's
a
like
millimeter
it's like
thick.
a single droplet.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there is more depth to like just the idea of photography in this single character in Just Because than there is in all like 3 seasons of Tamayura.
There was 3 seasons? What?
There sure was.
Yeah, but it was very very unfortunate. So that's sort of my overall thoughts on the theme. But anyways, Dark. Sorry for taking you on this tangent.
Hey,
but,
Dark, hey, Dark, hey, Dark.
I needed to know. Yeah.
Did you know that Saikoro means dice?
Damn.
You know,
yeah,
you know,
didn't,
that's
but now
exactly
I
what he
do.
said at the very beginning of
You know-
this
you know-
section.
you
I
know-
wasn't sure if that was
you
the
know what that
actual
means?
translation.
they could
What?
play Dungeon Dice Monsters.
I don't
Yeah,
think
they're
they're
gonna
gonna do
ha-
that.
they're gonna
I
play
believe.
a full D&D campaign in one of
Does
the
D&D
episodes.
use dice?
It's gonna be 6 hours
Yes.
long.
What?
Yeah, they use like D20s. What do you mean?
I thought they just used the weird stat sheet that I don't understand.
What? How the fuck do you think
How
they
would you-
play?
The stats
Like,
are
how would
literally
you
for
play? You
stat
just, like-
rolls.
Like do you think D&D was just like really really long like verbal RP sessions?
Well, have you ever been to this website called Gaia Online?
It's not just a live like
Dark.
forum RP where people
Dark,
sit
dark,
there.
Dark. It's like those old like phone sex lines or whatever hotlines. Yeah, it's like he called those phone sex hotlines as a D&D roleplay session. It's just like
Yeah.
what the fuck?
we're-
D&D
We're
in
playing
your
D&D.
area.
Yeah, it's for when they say like roll 20 for like
I thought-
initiative.
not like-
that just means
I thought
you're
there was, like,
supposed to like role play to get to like
Yeah,
Yeah.
you role play.
you're
for
role
20
playing
minutes.
rolling dice.
Yeah.
You're pretending to roll.
Anyways,
But yeah, that's why they say like
I-
roll for initiative and shit.
I thought that was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you don't flip a coin or anything. No.
No,
Or-
that's,
or like-
that's
It's
why
you
they have
roll.
D20s. That's why you
Yeah.
have like crits and shit. and-
D20. You sunk my battleship. No, nothing cool like that.
No,
No,
that's how many
Battleship
sides
does not
there
have
are to
20
the
set
die.
play.
Oh.
Roll a coin.
That is what the D and then X number mean. The amount of sides to the die.
Anyways, Dark, do you have any last words on Houkago Saikoro?
Yeah, I think it's a lot better than the review
Wait.
on Mall.
Dark. Who's,
I
I
think
mean,
it
Mall is
deserves-
not never to be
Yeah, but either way.
Hey,
I
Dark,
mean, I
is-
just think it's kind of strange that it is that low. Like, I don't really know if people were just like, oh, the character interaction.
This seems like retarded. It's just cute girls doing
well,
what is it, board games? It's like,
to
it's
me,
nice.
it should have seemed then just like, oh, well, like, it's just girls. It's like, well,
Just
yeah,
cute girls
because the
doing the same retarded
fucking
shit.
primary thing is like, here's an obscure board game and here's how it's played.
Yeah.
Hey, Dark. Who's the black
But
guy?
they probably just see the cover.
That's the manager. He teaches them
Is
the
he-
board game.
Is he an
He
American?
plays the board games with. No, he's just very scary faced.
Do you think he could beat up
And
Board James
he
in a fight?
he never holds back in any game, whether it be against a peer or a child.
Do
So
you-
he's
yeah,
an
he-
asshole.
No, he never goes easy on people because that'd be insulting to the other player and the board game. Okay? Be dishonorable.
Mm.
Do you think he could defeat Board James in the game of Crossfire?
Maybe.
Maybe. But
But
anyways,
yeah, so I think it's pretty solid. If
Mhm.
you're interested in seeing random ass board games get played, I would say this is definitely the show for you. If you're in it for purely character interactions, this is not the show for you.
yeah.
Because it ain't gonna be pure of that. It's definitely seeming like it's gonna be a lot more about the game.
Yeah. But anyways, thank you for covering Houkago Saikoro Club. I definitely want to get a little bit of cover on it. I did watch the episode, but I still want to talk over it with you and just kind of get your impressions and everything. But yeah, definitely a series that I want to cover pretty early on. So with that being said, now we are moving on to the news. And we have a decent amount of sort of company-related news here, but we'll get to that in quick time. And and before we go on to this, I do want to say that just like a heads up, because I know that since we're always covering the latest fall anime and stuff like that, we don't necessarily the latest anime that are coming out. We don't necessarily have time to cover like all the other sort of different media that come out, although we do try to from time to time. So I know recently there have been two pretty big movies that have come out. One is Promare. Obviously, people should be aware of that, as well as Weathering with You, or I believe is Tenkinoko, or the 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 Sky Child, or whatever it is, if it's transliterated, right? Tenkinoko, in Japanese, which is the newest Makoto Shinkai movie, I believe, right?
Is that when's
Yeah.
that coming out for
Yep.
here?
I am not sure. It's already in like Canada and places, right? If I'm
Near,
correct.
can you
I believe
confirm?
so, yeah. I believe it's airing over
What
here.
what about
Yeah.
Dragon Quest? The Dragon Quest movie. I'm waiting for that.
I thought that already aired.
Didn't that come out and people
in-
fucking hated it?
Yeah,
In the
people said
U.S.,
that
I
it
want to
was
watch it.
absolutely horrendous.
In the U.S. though, hit me up with that.
I mean, it's not going to be any better in the
I
U.S.
still want to
Yeah.
watch it.
Well, you'll have to check that out later. But yeah,
maybe
anyways.
they're doing reshoots, you know.
They're gonna reshoot it.
But anyways, there is a Promare and Tenkinoko, and if we have time, like later on in this season, we'll maybe try to cover something like that. But again, those two are pretty big movies that are coming out, so please do check them out if you do have the time, and if it is airing in your area, doesn't hurt to give them a try. Both of them are done by very reputable studios, obviously. So please do check them out. But with that being said, we are moving on to the news for sure, for real. First off, HiDive announced on Wednesday that it has formed a partnership with the MyAnimeList website. The first feature of this partnership includes featuring MyAnimeList content ratings on HiDive's streaming platform. MyAnimeList will additionally get an embedded HiDive video player to show a curated selection of HiDive programs. MyAnimeList rating system became available in HiDive on Wednesday. HiDive's embedded video player will launch in the fourth quarter of 2019. So, HiDive streaming service generally like an anime live action kind of streaming service. So they're pretty much teaming up together and I guess integrating their services. Although I'm not sure how good integrating two I want to say interesting services will end up being like, but I guess we're looking forward to a question mark. It's like we're watching like I don't know, like Tenkinoko or like Your Name, and it's like this got a 5 on Miami list, and you're like, okay. seems
Thanks, HiDive.
But yeah, anyway, moving on. So I have a bunch of like sort of statistics related news here, and people always like numbers, so we'll go through them a little bit quickly. First, the Pia Soken Live Entertainment Research Company revealed on September 12th that revenue from anime-related live music concerts and voice actor events from January to December 2018 grew to an estimated 20 billion yen, or about 185 million US dollars, a 10.5% growth from 2017. So a lot of people kind of throwing their money into these like live shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of event growth, 6.4% increase. with a steady increase, obviously growing throughout the year, with a very big bump from 2014 to 2015. What happened? Was that Love Live? Like when Love Live really popped. I mean,
I don't
not.
know, probably.
But anyways,
2014? Yeah, probably.
because I know 2014 was probably around the time when the mobile game was out for Love Live. So I'm guessing that's around when they really popped.
Yeah.
But anyways, most live music event attendance centered around the Love Live and the Automaster Idol anime franchises. Surprise, surprise. The annual Animello Summer Live. This is, anime. For those of you who don't know, Animello Summer Live is like it's literally like they bring in the who's who of like anime voice actors and singers, and they just have them all sing. Which brings together many anime music artists. Had 81,000 attendees in 2018, and King Records' King Super Live event at the Tokyo Dome had 37,000. Blah 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 blah. Anime-related live events made up about 5% of the overall Japanese live music event market. So yeah, pretty interesting. Next, this is really interesting. The financial research firm Teikoku Data Bank published a survey of the anime production industry on Wednesday and reported that 30.4% of anime production companies were in the red in their final profit and loss for 2018. The first increase in 3 years and the highest percentage in the past 10 years. The survey also revealed that 23.2% of the companies saw decreases in their revenues. 34% of the companies increased their revenues, the first drop in this percentage in 2 years. Among studios that are primary contractors or major subcontractors, so essentially big studios, 35.6% reported an increase in revenues, so obviously a little bit more, but still probably a slight drop there. These studios had an average revenue of about $15 million. Among specialty studios, so these are like in between studios, secondary studios, stuff like that, 3D CGI, blah, blah, blah. 54.7% reported a decrease in revenues. So that's over half, by just, making that super clear.
Spire, if Crunchyroll's getting more and more subs, what's the deal?
I thought that was going into the industry.
Oh my god, it's like, again, like, for viewers, for longtime viewers of the podcast, that we've been talking about this sort of thing for quite a while now, like over the years, just like seeing news of studio after studio suffering from bankruptcy, trying to change their models, being in the red because of their stuff. Only, the only part of them that's profiting is like the licensing department. It's like very, very sort of like not great news for the current model of the Japanese animation industry. And obviously, this is also showing signs of fractures, right? Of bending and creaking. So, obviously, there are two things that has happened, right? Or mainly one thing that has happened, because one thing is obviously the government stepping in to do something like helping out, funding, whatever, which is partly what they're trying to do now, right? Especially in the Tokyo metropolitan area, right? A lot of them are doing like grants and like competitions, blah, 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 and helping them out, funding programs. And the other thing is obviously they have to drastically change their model. And again, a lot of them are trying to do that with stuff like digitalization. Some of them are kind of just pushing, subcontracting and hiring new artists overseas, like in the Philippines, and it's like in the other sea area, right? Southeastern Asian countries area. And they're all kind of scrambling to find the new model, the new business model, new technologies that all kind of fit in. But it's definitely, I do again fear, and I've said this again, and I kind of sound like Chicken Little saying this, but I do feel like this is a bubble that will pop with very unfortunate consequences before people are able to find a new model that really just work out for the next sort of era of Japanese animation. So, hopefully that doesn't happen, but it is very scary news for those involved in the industry for sure. But yeah, what do you guys think? This sort of statistic.
I mean, we've been seeing this coming for a while now, right?
Yeah, just even just looking over the news generally.
Yeah. To me, it's not surprising at all, really. I am kind of surprised about the over half of like the quote unquote specialty studios, which is, I mean, basically just 3D CG studios, right?
Yeah,
Saying
3D
like,
CG
yeah,
studios, and
they're in
I'm
the
betting
red,
like
right?
sort of they also include in between like very small secondary studios. Essentially.
Yeah, that's, I mean, surprising to see that many of them are just like making less money. I mean, that might be due to the fact that a lot more studios are trying to just do as much as possible in-house, right? To, I guess, uh, pay less money for, outsourcing, but
hmm
I don't know. Um,
It's I think also it says here that like essentially 66%, about 2/3 exactly, have less than 20 employees. So um,
yeah,
this is like not only are they doing small stuff, but they're not able to do like productive stuff. I think that'll pay all these people kind of properly. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's not surprising. I remember, what was it? Was it Recreators, I think? Um, the animation team for Recreators was actually pretty active on social media, I think. Um, just like in like all their process for like every episode or something.
Yeah.
Um, and there was a lot of people I remember that watched those that were like shocked at how small the animation team was. And
Yeah.
it's like that's the average size, right? Like 15 people
Yeah,
working on an
exactly,
anime.
exactly, exactly.
Like
Unless
that's
unless you are literally just like the people, unless you are, you know, in IG, Kyoani,
yeah.
like these people, like freaking JC staff, maybe A1, but even A1, I think from their studio office, it looked pretty small. Like
Yeah, I'm
back
sure
back
A1
in like
has like a bunch of really small teams that
yeah,
just work
yeah.
on stuff.
But again, it's not it's really small, and it's like the work that they're doing is already like not paying enough, but it's like I don't know. It's like everything's just like not enough except for like the like so an interesting news. Like one last thing I want to kind of point out is that in this last paragraph it says that Takeover Databank attributed the bankruptcies to lower contract prices and labor costs due to a shortage of human resources. Blah blah, and all this increased payment costs of subcontractors. Blah blah, all this other stuff that was more obvious. But this shortage of human resources. So what I was assuming before, right, was that a lot of people in Japan, like a lot more than is usual in other countries, right, are want to be animators, want to be voice actors, stuff like that. So I would assume that there is sort of a surplus in a sense of Japanese people that want to be professional Japanese animators, right? And then those people are just not getting paid enough because, again, um, not enough profits, and why would they? Because they can just get better animators. It was sort of my assumption, right?
Right.
But this also shows that now, except for the people that want to work at specifically like at Kyoani or at Ufotable or at like, you know what I mean? Like JC said, except for
Yeah.
those people, there is actually a shortage of resources in general for the Japanese professional animation industry. You know what I mean?
Of course, because
So,
everyone that
so
wants to be an animator wants to work at, they want to work on the next
yeah,
Fate
it's like
series, right?
yeah, exactly. They want to be at Kyoani, or they look at an average animation studio and they're like, no, this is garbage. Like, I don't want to work in these conditions. So it's
Yeah.
an all or nothing effect, and thus everybody else is getting pretty much starved out. So that's a very scary effect. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that's essentially a cascading sort of like a negative cycle effect where it's like you're pretty much routing out the common sort of labor supply for the general sort of animation studio. So that's I think a scary thing to think about because again we've always um, assumed for the longest time that in Japan, of course, there are so many people that just want to be manga artists and animation artists, voice actor, blah blah blah, and everybody's just gonna jump into it. And there was a problem with competition, but there wasn't a problem with necessarily with the labor source, right? But this is showing, hey, there's a potential problem with the labor source, which is again very scary.
hmm
Hopefully, things turn out all.
I don't know, man. It's not looking I don't think we're looking at the end of the rainbow here for the animation industry, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about Studio Trigger nowadays. You see how they're dipping their toes
It's
into
all about
all the
GoFundMe.
soups.
It's
Yeah.
all about GoFundMe's these days and Patreons.
Didn't you see the one where they did that thing? That one anime? What's it called? Or that one game? Dauntless? Dauntless? Indivisible?
Indivisible, yes.
Yeah.
Undefeatable?
Yes. But anyways, yeah. And moving on here. Visual effect on the topic of studios filing for bankruptcy. Visual effects company Picture Element formally began bankruptcy proceedings on September 18th through the Tokyo District Court. The company owes about US $1.88 million to 64 creditors. It did CG for various stuff like live action, Library Wars, 20th Century Boys, live action Nodame Kitabile stuff, live action Space Brothers, so on and so forth. So pretty good resume down the line, but unfortunately they have had to file for bankruptcy. So very unfortunate. Moving on, our last sort of piece of non-personal news involves awards, and again, everybody loves awards, so we'll through them pretty quickly here. First, the Ottawa International Animation Festival, OIAF, announced its winners for the 2019 event on Saturday, announcing that Kenji Iwaisawa's Onga Our Sound anime film has won the event's grand prize for feature animation award. The film competed for the prize alongside Studio 4 degrees Celsius, 4 degrees Celsius anime film.
4C.
4C, Studio 4C is anime film Daisuke Igarashi's Children of the Sea, Kaiju no.
Really
I've
wanna
heard of
see
that
that.
one.
It
Yeah.
just looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. The jury's comment on the film stated the film won for being a triumph of economic storytelling without sacrificing the richness of its characters. We're particularly impressed with the perfect timing, simplicity of design, and the joyous celebration of the medium of animation. So yeah, I have also heard of the Ongaku that, and definitely I think a pretty solid series to get an award. So yeah, so if you haven't heard of these series before, please do check them out. I do think these two series are pretty worth checking out. So next, the Harvey Awards, which honors outstanding work in comics and sequential art, awarded Kohei Horikoshi's My Hero Academia manga with the Best Manga Award at the New York Comic Con on Friday.
Wow, he
The
beat
manga,
One Piece?
the manga competed against Junji Ito's Frankenstein, Junji Ito Story Collection, one's Mob Psycho 100, Yuki Kamatani's Our Dreams at Dusk, Shimanami Tasukare, Junji Ito's Smashed, and Kamome Shirahama's Witch Hat Atelier manga.
That's not
So
much
yeah.
competition,
Why did
really.
Junji Ito get 2 nominations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but really, that competition is not fair for everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, this is a much, I think, less buff award than the one we just discussed at the Ottawa Animation Festival. But congratulations either way to My Hero Academia for winning the award.
Which hat should have won?
Yeah. Unlike the Eisner Awards and the other awards in the American comic book industry, the Harvey Awards are nominated and selected by the comic book professionals themselves. And with that, we are moving straight on to people news here. Just going through them real quickly. The Nikkan Sports and Sports Hochi websites reported on Friday the animator Kasuko Nakamura, real name Kasuko Kato, passed away on August 3rd. She was at 86. So she helped, animate for Toy Doga. She did stuff like The White Snake. She did animation for Osamu Tezuka's Astro Boy, Wonder 3, and 1001 Nights, so on and so forth. Very, pioneering female animator. Condolences to her friends and family. Next, Romi Hoshino, aka Sakai Romi, the alleged administrator of Mangamura, which is one of the biggest piracy sites for manga, arrived at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport in Metro Manila on Tuesday morning as part of his extradition back to Japan. Fukuoka Prefectural Police will arrest him once he arrives in Japan. He was taken into custody on July 7th, and there were other arrests and manual arrests pretty much overseas. So that's that. Next, voice actress Megumi Ogata revealed on Twitter on Thursday that she had been hospitalized overnight for sudden anaphylaxis, or having like hives and stuff like that. The cause is under examination. Blah blah. Everything's clogged. She has hives. So very unfortunate. If you don't know who Megumi Ogata is, you should, because she did Kurama Yu Yu Hakusho, Shinji Ikari, and this is Evangelion, and Sailor Uranus and Sailor Moon. So again, very, very famous voice actor. Please wish her a speedy recovery. She is currently hospitalized, but I believe she is safe and sound for now.
Hey, Spire.
Yes?
She better be okay.
Is this...
It's funny.
Is
She
this...
always talks about her when she was like doing Shinji Ikari. She hated that role. Apparently,
Yeah,
it was like the most stressful role she's ever done because of how much fucking screaming she had to do.
yeah, I can't... I definitely...
She better be okay, because she's Shion in PSO2, and the anime's coming up.
The thing is, I've heard, again, stories of where it's like voice actors, when they're doing like screaming roles, they literally, like, sometimes they do it where it's like, especially if they have to like keep the lines, right, to get like the specific like timbre, the try that they actually want, right, the run that they actually want. Sometimes they almost like become lightheaded and like almost like pass out
Yeah.
in like the booth. So it's like it's not an easy thing exactly.
You ever turn Super Saiyan 4 in a booth? When you
Yeah,
pass out?
yeah. Next, the official website for the Nanabun no Nijuni, or 22/7 idol project, revealed on Tuesday that the group's member Mei Hanakawa will go on hiatus for a certain period of time due to her health. She previously took temporary breaks due to health. More talk about her health and how she was sort of not able to really attend events. So I believe she voices the role of Nicole Saito in this anime idol or whatever. So please wish her speedy recovery.
Why is it
And
called
last,
22/7? Is there 22 idols in 7 groups, or are they all the age of 22, and there's only
I
7 of
have
them?
no. I don't think
It's
either of that is
probably
true.
just
I think it's just a
random
random.
fucking numbers.
Yeah. Anyways, next and last piece of personal news: voice actor Kuse Tsukui revealed on his blog and Facebook page on Tuesday that he has been diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS. Tsukui underwent 4 weeks of medical testing and treatment with hospitalization before receiving diagnosis. So Tsukui's voice is currently unaffected and he plans to continue forward as much as possible. However, walking on his own is not difficult for Tsukui, and he uses double-handed cane and wheelchair to aid with mobility, but he said that he is otherwise relatively healthy. Again, please wish him, the best of luck in his future endeavors, as well as, getting back, rehabilitating, and otherwise keeping on with stuff. Tsukui's major roles in anime include Black Brothers, Johan Sang, Azuki-chan's Makoto Sakaguchi, Fantasy the Dolls, Rin Tomikasa, so on and so forth. But yeah, again, please wish him the best in terms of rehab and future endeavors. And with that, and also, speaking of just going back to the whole like Promare and Tekinoko thing, there's a lot of like interesting big live action stuff. I just want to give a very, very quick like shout out to like some big names. There's like Promise Neverland live action stuff coming out. There's Sazae-san live action coming out. There's like a couple of other stuff that's like smaller. Pretty interesting time for movies and live action. So just watch out for that. But anyways, we are finally at our shoutouts and callouts. And with that, everybody gets one shout out and one call out. And the shout out is something that you want to give a 5 out of 5 on, or 100% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. No, pretty good. Giving a middle finger to the critics kind of thing. And it could be any one person, place, or thing. And of course, call out is the exact opposite that you want to rant and rave about. Give a thumbs down, burn it to the ground, and it can be anyone, person, place, or thing. And we will start with Nier.
My
Whoa.
shoutouts and callouts, alright? What? Oh, Nier. Whoops.
Yes, I believe I did not say Tuss. I said Nier. But
Okay,
anyways,
Nier, go ahead. I believe in you.
Okay. I don't know. Shoutouts to Code Vein. It's a pretty cool game.
Nier, can you confirm that it takes in the same universe as God Eater?
I mean, me and Dark were talking about it. It's possible, though it's probably unlikely.
Yeah. You
It's
should really beat the
possible.
game though.
Yeah, I
Who
should.
is the Code Vein?
You should really like kill the
You
next
are.
boss.
But yeah, it's a cool game. It's got a lot of nice stuff, and it's fun. The only thing I don't like about it is that every weapon is heavy as shit, and it's really hard to not fat roll because I'm using a greatsword. But in that, it's fun game. Callouts to callouts to the fact that Psychopath Season 3 doesn't start until fucking October 25th. I thought that was going to be earlier. And I'm
What's like the one episode thing that's out now?
I don't know, probably some preview thing. But I thought I was going to be a lot earlier, and I was really excited for it. But now it's like, shit. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. I guess I'll go next. So my shout out goes actually to a certain virtual YouTuber and her playthrough of Pokemon. So some people might know it about, but it is Honma Himawari, so it is a virtual YouTuber, and she is like the stereotypical. Like I don't even know whether I saw it or not, but it's like she has the IQ of a essentially is how it works. But she has a very like joie de vivre, like a very pretty much like joy of living, kind of very happy, very pleasant kind of vibe. That obviously like when we're watching somebody like stream or video or anything, we kind of want to watch someone who has that sort of energy, who has that sort of happiness, right? We don't want to watch someone who's just like moody and angry all day necessarily, right? So she was playing, and then she had this. She booted up Pokemon Platinum, but apparently I think she had never played a Pokemon game in her life or something like that. Like she knows about like Pokemon through like anime merchandise, all right? But she literally had not actually played a Pokemon game in her life. So she was learning it from step one, and it was the most godlike of playthroughs. Like the highlights that are on her channel, please, if you know even like a little bit of like Japanese, please go watch it. It is the best. Like she's like, you know how it's like every Pokemon like generation has like the bird Pokemon or whatever, right? So it's like Platinum has like Starly, I believe, right? Or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
she sees Starly and she's like, hey, that's like the pigeon at the train station. And she literally catches it and names it pigeon at the train station.
Nice.
And then it's evolving, and she's just like, "Oh, it's evolving to Tokyo train station." What the fuck is going on? And then she like names the Houndoom like Strong Shiba, stuff like that. It's like, and then and then, it's like the fucking best. But yeah, that just like the highlights of that shit just made my day. But oh yeah, there was another thing where it was like so you know how it's like the Pokemon like their cries or whatever, digital electronic like cries, right?
Yeah.
Like or whatever. So she sees a Pikachu model, right? And she like interacts with it, and the Pikachu makes that like the game the Pikachu sound, right? And she's like, wait a minute. This Pikachu doesn't say, Pikachu like in the anime. Did they change the voice? And everybody's just like, what?
They changed the voice actor.
That's not how that works. It was It was the best of playthroughs. But yeah, that's my shout out. My call out is to literally everybody that's going to be going to Anime NYC, because I just learned I did not include this in the news because it's not part of not what we do, but Anime NYC, which is a anime convention, as the title suggests, is hosting a lot of pretty big guests, and one of the guests that they just announced is Kugimiya Rie.
Who's that?
Kugimiya Rie, for those of you who don't know, is one of the most prolific voice actors out there right now.
Is she more famous than Makoto Shinkai? Or who's it?
It's not a
What?
voice actor.
Wait, okay. But so she's most famous for having voiced some of the most famous Tsundere characters in the past couple of decades. That is, Luis Valier and Zero no Tsukayama, Nagi Sanzanin and Hayate no Gotoku, Taiga Aisaka and Torodoro, and Shana in the titular Shakugan no Shana. So pretty big deal, and she is coming over to Anime NYC, and I'm salty. A lot of people are salty, and fuck everybody who's going to Anime NYC. Actually, fuck the entire NYC area, because
Did you see it's what is it? It's $125 to get
for
her
the handshake
autograph.
yeah, the autograph and
Holy
the beat,
fuck.
What about a
That's crazy.
handshake?
But the meet and greet is probably part of it. I don't think it's like an actual handshake like they do in Japan.
Yeah.
But it's probably a
Probably
meet and greet. But
signing session.
yeah. But god damn, I'm salty. So that's my call. Anyways, toast. Shout out to callouts, please.
My shout out. My shout out is to the 6 people that just texted me just now. Cool.
What?
Did you hear the beep?
No.
Good.
No.
Never mind. Don't screw those guys. My shout out is to the weirdo that did the shirtless Gogeta mod in Dragon Ball Fighters.
All right.
You do you, Famalam. Yeah.
And what would you call out?
My call out is to the 14th, 16th, how many hours I spend on ISIS
Yes,
raid.
that's
Jesus
sort of what I
Christ.
expected. Yeah.
Give me back my life.
Okay.
It's your decision to make.
Yeah, but
That's
I wanted to. I mean, no, I didn't want to, but it was a matter of pride back then. See, once the first couple hours fails, roll by, it's like all right.
Stick it in.
It's like all right. I just have to do it now.
You're in for the ride. Yeah. I can get behind that.
I think once 10 hours go by, it's cool to be like, nah.
No,
Let's stop here.
near. That's the sound of a quitter. Are you a quitter?
If it's 10 hours, probably.
If it's 10 hours of beating my head against the wall, yeah, I'm throwing in the towel.
Jesus. Anyways, last but not least, Dark. Shout us and callouts, please.
So I'm also gonna shout out Code Vein because that game is fun. I like pretty much all the systems it has in it, and it's definitely one of my favorite Souls-esque games now.
Who is the Code Vein? I want to know.
I don't know actually.
Is it me?
I guess it's all just dead space.
Yeah, I guess we were the Code Veins all. But yeah, and then on a similar note, my call out's gonna be to people who still just shit on anything that isn't Dark Souls.
Why, you don't like Dark Souls?
I mean, I like it enough, but it's it's not the best made Souls series, Souls-ish game at this point. realistically, me and Nia have gone through those games multiple times and gone through their boss lists multiple times, and there's like all of them put together maybe have 5 good bosses in the entire series. And it's like those games are like kind of fun for one playthrough, but they're not these like masterpieces that they're made out to be.
Right.
Especially when it comes to bosses and the
Yeah,
actual,
you're
you know,
wrong.
just
Get good.
fun factor of it.
Just
I mean, getting good or not, it's like irrelevant. It's like the bosses themselves aren't just that compelling. And also like the gameplay as well. I think one of the major things I really like about games like Code Vein and Neo, to a lesser extent Bloodborne, is that you wind up the gap between you and the bosses themselves are not as high as they are in Dark Souls. And I think that's a huge lacking point of Dark Souls, where you fight all these bosses that are really cool, and then you're just a loser that can, like, kind of dress up like them if you want.
Yeah.
But they always have, like, you know, a lot more interesting abilities than you, and it seems like, you know, playing as having anything similar to them would make for a much more interesting game.
Yeah. Oh. And I guess with that we are done with our shoutouts and callouts.
Spire, what's your shoutouts and callouts?
I already said my shoutouts and callouts.
I forgot.
So
What were they again?
you will have to see the podcast recording to find out. But either way, we are done with this section, and thank you to all of our listeners and listeners here or viewers here and listeners out there for listening in to us. Our podcast where we do this every other Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimecast. That's with the number 4. We talk about the latest and greatest in Japanese animation media, anime, manga, light novels, visual novels, web novels, and so much more. So follow us here while we record our podcast live. Of course, you can check out our VODs that are archived here as well as on YouTube, where our YouTube channel is at 4PlayerAnimecast. You can also check us out on our social media, Facebook, as well as on Twitter, Facebook, 4PlayerAnimecast, Twitter handle at 4PPAnimeCast, all with the numeral 4. So you can check us out there, check us out here, and as always, we'll see you next time.
Bye.